Hello, Anna. It's almost good evening now. It gets dark pretty early, doesn't it? How are you today?
Hello, good day, everyone. Hello, Łukasz. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for inviting me today. I'm with you on this conference from the morning, and it's been an amazing discussions and an amazing conference. So thank you again for inviting me and being a part of it.
And then thank you so very much for taking the time to be part of the entire experience. Anna, successful onboarding, what are the early signs? How do you recognize it? Suppose it's not necessarily in your company, but you just see it happen. How to recognize it?
Yeah. So before I will come directly to that question, I think it's important to speak about, why we are even speaking about the onboarding today. So obviously, the onboarding is a very important experience for the team members, and it has a huge impact on productivity, engagement. But what I found really interesting in many research that I was looking at is that 93% of the companies already recognize that the onboarding has a huge impact on the retention. And that's why I think this topic is so important, and I'm so happy we are speaking about it today. So now to your question, what is this successful onboarding? It is the process, obviously, of integrating new members of the organization into the team, into the whole organization, and also providing them with necessary information, resources, and support that they need to adopt quickly and contribute meaningful role in the organization. And with that being said, in the current work environment, with such a rapidly changing world, with the divestitures, acquisitions, merging of the companies, rebrandings, structured, I think we need to focus also on the continuous onboarding, kind of re-recruit our team members, re-onboard. So that's super important to have this connection with the team members constantly. And so
Anna,
as
you
this is a
made me,
cooking class,
sorry to interrupt you,
yeah.
but it's like marital vows renewal in a sense. How does it work? Re-onboarding.
It is something like that because with this changing environment, it is so important we have constantly the connection with our team members. And as this is a cooking class for the practitioners, I wanted to make sure that I give also some tips because that should be a guide. So, for example, at Sabre, we are having the regular meetings with the whole population of our team members in Poland every 2 weeks as a board. And that is the session where we inform what is happening with the organization, and also other team members have a space to do it. And at the same time, there is 30 minutes for questions and answers. So team members can ask anything. But as we rightly said, this is more concentrated on the new hires. So let's focus on this particular aspect. So it's super important that this, for the new people, that this experience is designed in a really best-in-class way. So that team members, when they are joining, they feel valued. They feel they can be their true selves. They can bring their best to work. So it's kind of like creating the first experience. When you meet someone, you have this kind of first experience that is stay with you for a long time. And it's similar with this onboarding. When you join the new organization, actually it starts earlier with the recruitment process. So there is some kind of the impression, and it's the moment when really the authentic story matter. It is the moment where the inclusion, culture, and values really matter. And the second part of the question was kind of about how we can measure that. And so there are different things we can measure, like engagement, productivity, retention, feedback, cultural integration, completion of key milestones, time to proficiency. And so, again, as this is the class for practitioner, I want to share what we are doing. At Sabre, we are saying that, for the fully proficient onboarding, it is around 6 months because of the really complex problems that our team members are tackling every day. So we are doing welcome survey, connection survey, development survey, first week, 6 weeks, and 6 months. But what I wanted to share, it doesn't matter how many surveys you do, it's really important what you are doing with the data based on it. And it's always a good practice to implement some development and to learn from it. As like I said before, we are working in such a high changing environment. There are also many different aspects like global versus local organization and in the current work from home after COVID. So there is a lot of other aspects that have to be added into this successful onboarding.
Yeah, great. So if we were to think of a guide to successful onboarding and have like micro steps in it, what would be your top 10 on the list?
Sure. So let me ask you a question, Lukasz, and actually all of the audience that are listening to us today, like, do you remember when you were changing the job? How did you feel?
I do remember very specifically. It's one big story. I will actually maybe write a book about it one day because it was so different, so unusual. So you hit the nail right on the head, Anna.
For most of the people, it will be the comment that it's also a stressful moment in their lives. And so that is also very important. We're working on this, direct and detailed steps of this onboarding process and how to design it. Have in mind that this is a stressful moment to new person to change the work and to move to totally new work environment. So that's really important to design the process in a good way because it will be a different way for example, the interns, different for the employees with, very mature ones, different for the early careers. So it really matters to focus and to take that into consideration that it will be really personalized offer for the new hire, taking into consideration their own personalities, etc. But coming to the steps, so prepare in advance, like I said, and it's really important. And what I've shared earlier is it is very, very important what we can do. We have many employee groups at Sabre. One of it as, for example, leaders, and it is called the culture stream. So the leadership group once took into their meetings the topic of the onboarding, and they prepared a really cool guide in terms of what the new leaders of the team members who are joining the organization can do. And again, as this is the class for practitioners, I will share with you 2 tips that I hope you can implement into your companies. So first, before the start date, consider contacting new joiner via email or social media. Congratulate them, check how you can help them. It doesn't cost much, but it's really build trustworthy relationship, especially in Poland with the 3 months with notice period. Sometimes it's a long time. So it's really important to really create the safe environment, and that helps so much. Another thing, and I know that it will not be for everyone, but for those who are working from the office, like me today, the new leader can do a simple guide around the office. Walk the new team member where they are sitting the teams. Where is the kitchen? Where is the mother room? Where is the parents' room? Where are the massage chairs or the beautiful rooms like I'm here today, the bright light therapy room? So I'm sure that in many offices around Poland and around the globe, we have a great, facilities, and it's really important to show where it is. Then welcome and induction sessions. And this is really important moment. I've heard on the previous panels, I think all of the companies are doing this induction sessions, but it's the moment to show not only what the company is doing and how making money, but showing the true and authentic information and story about the culture, for example. So in our DNA, there is a lot of employee resource groups. We have the diversity and inclusion groups. We have the clubs. We have communities in practice. And that is the moment where they can share what they are doing, and the new team member can really look what they can do and how they can engage with them. Set clear expectation and goals. That's the other thing that is really important. As a tip, you can use SMART model or any other moment. Offer training, guidance, facilitate relationship building. That's really important to connect new person with the right people, because that helps so much with faster and better onboarding. Check in regularly during the meetings, encourage questions, Celebrate milestones, small thing, but really, really matters. And seek for the feedback. That can be another advice, because it's always important to listen what we are doing good and what we can do better.
Wow, Anna, I thought I was being humorous when I asked you for top 10, but it turns out you can easily offer us more than that. So thank you for great inputs. You mentioned you're working from office today. Who'd have thought, Anna, that 3 years ago it was extravagant to work online, remote. Today it's extravagant to work in the office, isn't it? Quite an irony that the times would have for us. And I guess to sum up what you've just said, the powerful, very important message here is that we keep repeating at this conference that we are all different. We have different levels of sensitivity, different needs and expectations, however difficult it may be for some people to recognize such basic facts. But it is the case, like, for instance, if you define the concept of the countries today are so volatile. If you decide the concept of a democracy, what kind of media do you need for a democracy? What kind of governance do you need for the democracy? It will differ between communities and groups, etc. And the same goes to language and culture in a company. I remember one of the most innocuous early reasons that made me change my entire life after 6 years of hyper-intensive corporate life was the way this company referred to talent. It would use terms like talent pipeline, just imagine the metaphor, or the talent pool, which is more innocuous. So when you think about it, can you really reconcile sensitivity and talking about people as if they were some kind of resource flowing through a pipeline? No less. Thank you very much, Anna. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us today. And we will now go to our experts. Anna Stach, Sabre Polska Director People, Business Partner and Board Member. Thank you again.